Anahita Rao back again, and I wanted to discuss the second eclipse in January. So let's get into that. So we've got a lunar eclipse coming up on January the 21st in the nakshatra of Pushya. What does that mean? Let's talk about that. Now, all eclipses are capable of bringing sudden and swift changes, and this one is more intense than the one that we experienced in the beginning of the month. Now, one thing I always advise is do not make any decisions the week before or the week after an eclipse. It's best to reflect at this time. When either Rahu or Ketu join the luminaries, we have a total lunar eclipse. This one is caused by Rahu on January the 21st at approximately 5 a.m. GMT. So depending on where you are in the world, it could also be the 20th of Jan. It takes place in the nakshatra of Pushya at nearly 7 degrees in the second pada ruled by Mercury. And this is also Pushkara pada. So there's a blessing here with that. Now, full moons generally are the best time to reach out to people because they carry a Vishnu energy, yeah? Whereas new moons carry more of a Kali energy, and that means it's best to go inward at the new moon in the month because it's the darkest at that point. Now again, as we had with the earlier eclipse, Mercury is also making a presence here. It is going to be sitting with the Sun and Ketu in the nakshatra of Uttarashada. This, of course, will affect Cancer and Capricorn directly, particularly if you've got planets in Pushya or Uttarashada, and of course close to the 7-degree mark there. You'll also need to see if your personal planets are in these signs. And by that I mean, it could be your Lagna Lord, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or even your Atma Karaka, or even your Dasha planet could be placed here. This is the last one to hit the Cancer and Capricorn axis, so this is good news. Now let's speak a little bit about Pushya, where the action takes place at this eclipse. Pushya is regarded as the most nourishing nakshatra, and with the moon situated here in its own sign, it's best to spend time with your family at this time or with your community. Pushya supports the following activities: beginning anything new, celebrations of all kind, gatherings with music, dance, travel is also favorable. Any sort of financial planning is favorable at this time. Any activity related to cooking or gardening or with your children, perhaps purchasing or taking care of a pet, that's also considered to be auspicious time for that because Pushya supports that as well. Any sort of healing and nurturing activities, and particularly because the moon is there, but even besides that, being it's the eclipse is taking place in Pushya. Any sort of course, religious and spiritual activities as well can go very well. So now the biggest blessing here with this eclipse is that it's being aspected by Jupiter. So although it's closely linked to Rahu, which may bring some chaos and confusion, as Rahu always does, Jupiter will protect the matters that are connected with Cancer and wherever the moon is situated in our chart, and whatever the moon symbolizes in our chart. So let's consider for a moment the power of the eclipse that is normally delivered to us by Rahu and Ketu. Now this axis, the Rahu-Ketu axis, the North Node and the South Node, this exists in all horoscopes, in everyone's birth chart, implying that part of our collective experience as beings on Earth includes this phenomena of living with shadows, which are represented by Rahu and Ketu. The planets, including Rahu and Ketu, they're all referred to as graha, which translates into seas. The word for eclipse is grahana, implying seizing. So all planets, in a sense, grab us and seize us. But the ones that are really skilled at it are Rahu and Ketu. And as such, they cause an eclipse to really shake us up. Of course, the other side of the drama is with our sources of light, which is the sun and the moon. So our story of life unfolds as we dance between the periods of light and dark, which is the light and the shadow. This is why eclipses are so dramatic. The sun is the primary source of light, and the moon is the one who reflects and regenerates that light. So the eclipse allows a shadow to fall over our mind, represented by the moon. And in this case, the moon is in Cancer, in its own sign, and it's also full and very bright. Being so close to the nodal axis, it's important to manage this energy with effective remedies for the moon, particularly the week before and the week after the eclipse, but also during, of course. So here's some remedies for the moon. Drink lots and lots and lots of water. Moon is a watery planet, synonymous with water. Okay? Meditate every day. Just a few minutes is fine, but make an attempt to do that. At least one week before and after the eclipse, when the energy is very strong. If you're feeling depressed, then have a good cry maybe. Because again, we're talking about tears shedding, which is symbolic of water again. Do physical exercise. Share your thoughts and feelings with others. And if you don't want to do that, you can journal them. Spend time with your children and your pets. It's a fantastic remedy for the moon. Spend time in nature, another fabulous remedy for the moon. And it can really uplift the mind. Yoga and pranayama is also a great remedy. Having warm, long baths, getting massages, that's another great remedy. I've actually written a detailed monthly forecast, which is published on my website, so you can have a look at that, in which I speak more about the eclipses that are happening in January. All the best to you. Cheers.